Hi, if you are watching this email, or I guess this video, then you received an email from me with the option to opt out of your Part 2 Metamorphosis quiz and replace it with Textual Evidence from Study Island. So I wanted to make sure that you kind of understood what Textual Evidence was. So for that, basically textual evidence is when you take a quote or use examples actually from the text. So textual evidence is just really the fancy word. A good way to remember it is basically this picture right here, but it's going to be the text, which is our book, plus your thoughts equal your answer. So even though your opinion and your feelings are important, if you don't put the text or the quote or the examples to back it up, then it's just not as strong, and that's where you need to use the quote. So I'm going to show you an example right here. I'm going to read this really quickly. Jackson thinks he'd like to enter the talent show at his school. He asked his friends to help him decide what to do. They have lots of advice. Sure, you should be in the show, his friend Lori Beth says. I definitely think you should. I wouldn't do it, Jackson's friend Bobby says. No way. I think you should go for it, Angelica says. You've been taking guitar lessons for 3 years, and I think you're really good. Plus, you can sing a song for the kids like, and you'll be a big hit. So the question was, which one of the friends make a relevant argument and gives reasons that make sense? So the correct answer is going to be Angelica. The reason being is because Lori Beth was the first person that just said, I definitely think you should. But she doesn't say why. She just says, yeah, that's a great idea. Go for it, right? And then Bobby basically does the same thing but disagrees and says, no way, don't do it. But again, doesn't say why. So Angelica basically gives us two reasons. Right here, she says, you've been taking guitar lessons. I think you're really good. Plus, you sing all the songs the kids like, and you'll be a big hit. So she almost gives us like 4 good reasons. So that's why she ends up making the best argument, and that would be textual evidence, because you would say that Angelica does, and then you'd be able to explain why. So that's going to be an example. So let's try this. Your teacher has assigned a report on the trains and railroads of the 1800s. Your search for the phrase trails and railroads, and the internet pulls up several articles including the following. So we have choice A, Railroad History of North America, the Trains of Great Britain, Railroad Acts and Steam Tracks, Train History 1804 to 1893. So I want you to think for a minute, which of these articles do you think would be most helpful? Okay, do you have your choice? Now think about why. If you had to use this information, this was the only information you had on like TCAP or in the test, you would have to explain why. Okay, here's the answer. The answer is, the best answer is the third one, C, Railroad Acts and Steam Tracks. The reason is because it tells us that it's history, tells us right here. It also tells us that it's 1804 to 1893, and your assignment is history and the 1800s. So that's why this one becomes the most exact information. The reason being is because the first one tells us railroad history, but it doesn't tell us which time frame. So it might start like you know, in the 1900s, which wouldn't help us at all because we need the 1800s. And our second option tells us that it's about the trains of Great Britain, but doesn't really tell us if it's history. So that's why choice C becomes our best answer based on textual evidence. Okay, so for this next one, you're going to actually have to stop the recording. You can either pause it or just go to the PowerPoint that I uploaded with your email. One of the success tips that I have for you, whether you're doing this for TCAP or Study Island or just in class, is to read your question first. Usually your questions are at the end of the passage, which you're going to notice that this particular passage is 3 slides long. So it's kind of hard to do all that reading and then answer the question, because you're like, I don't know what I was looking for. But if you read the question first, then you know what you're looking for as you do your reading. So this question is, which of these is true based on the evidence in the passage. So you're going to be looking for either Pat tries to converse with Kathy a lot, Kathy has lived in Nebraska before, Jenny needs to be a safer driver, or Kathy is always in a hurry to leave. So you're going to see, I'm going to fast forward this, that this is 1, 2, 3 slides long. So what I would like you to do is go ahead and open your PowerPoint and try and read through it, and then take a guess at which one is correct. And the PowerPoint will show you which one is correct, okay, before you do this. So the last thing is, I think all of you, this is for a video of how to get into Study Island, but I think for most of you, you know how to get into Study Island right now. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go to the ELA 10.1 pathway, and that's where you'll find the textual evidence quiz. Take that quiz and send me your score. That's it. So if you have any questions, of course, let me know, and otherwise, best of luck.